So what about Mobley? And I asked this in part, just your observations playing with him, but also your games are different. But you were a rookie big man who came in and you know had a lot of success very early on. And so, are you talking to him at all about your experiences and also like just from a pure basketball standpoint? What do you see? Because it really seems like he can do everything, which is pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Which is pretty crazy for someone who's played as little as he has.
Yeah. I mean, you look at him and he passes the eye test. He, you know, again, is another guy that just turned 20 years old, hasn't fully like grown into his body. But it's funny in watching him and seeing that he has everything. He's going to be, a top player in this league. I don't want to put a ceiling on him because I think there, there is no ceiling. He can be as good as he wants to be. So I don't want to say top 5, top 10 player. But the funny thing is, to me, what I'm getting at is like, you look and you're like, okay, he could face up, he could put it on the floor. He's going to be capable of shooting threes. How good of a shooter will he be? We'll see. But block shots, defensively, he's so long. He can do everything. He can move his feet. He can guard 1 through 5. But he wants to, like, when he faces up, like, he wants to bang. And that's like, I'm looking, I'm like, he really wants to like put a guy in the basket. And that was something that really surprised me about Ev, is like, he is not afraid of the physicality. He's not afraid to take it to you. And he just, it's really impressive to see the shots that he's able to make this early in his career, and his decision-making, his poise, his calm demeanor. He has that quiet confidence about him. And just watching, he mentioned these 3 guys, but J.A., Ev, and Darius play together has been an amazing thing to watch those guys grow.
I know you don't want to put a ceiling on them, and comparisons, they generally suck.
Yeah.
But who does Evan remind you of?
Who does Evan remind me of? It's tough for me. I mean, obviously, in temperament and how they go about their business is different, but like, I think in being 7 feet tall, being able to play that mid-range, block shots, play both sides of the ball, energetic, elastic, KG is somebody that I see at that size and body type. But I don't know, man. I'm curious to what other people have said about that, because I think that the game has changed so much. But there's nothing really he's not going to be able to do. I think in 2 or 3 years, you're going to see him at the very, very top of the league in terms of players. But comparisons, yeah, they're hard. Again, like you said, it's hard to do.
Yeah, and I literally was not trying to put you in a tough spot.
No, I know.
The reason I was asking was because when when the season first started, and you watch him play, and you look at how he moves, and as you said, he's still growing into his body a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody was comparing him to Chris Bosh, which is fine. I heard a lot of Chris Bosh comparisons.
Yeah.
But the KG thing is interesting because defensively, what Evan is able to do in both protecting the paint and being able, and look, Chris Bosh was a terrific defender. I'm not knocking Chris Bosh's defense, but what Evan is able to do on that side of the ball is very unique and very valuable. I spent one day watching, I think, 18 straight minutes of him switching onto guards and getting stops. Yeah. And this was like 6 weeks ago. I mean, This was early in the season, and he had a lot of stops, switching onto guards and staying down and contesting late and blocking at the. I mean, it's just that to me is the value there. There's just not a lot of bigs at his size that can be a force inside while also switching on the perimeter.
Yeah, and to that point, sometimes when we go zone, or if we're switching 3 through 5 or 2 through 5, he ends up at the top of the key, and you used to see that a lot. At the very least, when KG was on the Timberwolves, you would always see him kind of at the top there, just showing length, contesting guards, sometimes guarding the 3-man, sometimes guarding the 2-man. But I think that's also the luxury that we have, having Lowry and JA down there, because if you're funneling them into the paint, you're going to meet those 2 bigs on the other side. So listen, the growth has been has been fast for him. It's also very hard as a rookie to do it on a winning team. So I think,
yeah, that's a great point. That's a great
accounting
point.
for all of that,
yeah,
is, it makes for, a pretty special season for him, and a guy that I truly believe, again, sky's the limit. But, in the space that we're in right now and current day, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. If he continues this, he's going to be the rookie of the year.